Hey guys, in this video, I want to let you in on the secret to get the most out of your marketing agency if you're an e-commerce store owner. And please do stick around to the end where I'll let you in on the secret rule of thumb on how to find the right marketing agency as well. Because of course, having the right marketing agency to build the partnership with is the most important part of making a partnership work. But let's just dive right into it. I have made two sides here because you are two entities that go into this partnership, and it's really important to stress the word partnership because that's what it needs to be. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be like some contractual agreement that you make or someone working for you as an e-com owner. That's never how it should be. It should be a partnership for it to work as best as possible. But I'll explain that a lot more in depth here. But let's start on the agency side, because I'm sure that's what you would like to know the most as an e-com store owner, because it might be a little uncomfortable to dive into what you would have to bring into the equation yourself. So let's just dive into it. What I would always look for in a marketing agency, this is what I have found to be the most essential part of working with e-com stores, is that you need to have a mutual commitment to success. Because a lot of the times as a marketing agency, or when you find a marketing agency, it can be really hard to find someone where you feel like there is a mutual commitment to your success or to the success of your store. So it's really important to kind of look for that and see if it's something that's reflected in the way they speak, in the way they behave, in the way that they analyze your store and your ad accounts, and in the way that they structure the agreement, of course. So this is something that I'd always look for, and one of the things when you have started the partnership that kind of shows this, and that I think is essential for it actually to be a functioning partnership and something that will work, is that there's honest feedback. And this is actually on both sides. This is something that's important on both sides, that there's honest feedback. So like one doesn't just sit sulking in the corner over something, or one realizes an issue and kind of keeps it to themselves. We need to be very open and honest about our mistakes, and of course when it goes great. But that's the easy part. That's what everyone does. But this is really, really important, and part of the honest feedback is actually flexibility as well, but like quality content and strategic ideas. So being proactive in the idea generation part of it, I think that's one of the most essential parts of having like a good partnership with your marketing agency, is if they're able to come up with strategic or content and copywriting, like new ideas, generating new ideas that can help you grow, because it shows the mutual commitment to success. And it shouldn't just be the e-commerce owner that comes up with content ideas or strategic ideas on how to make a new campaign, or to structure like an offer on the website, or a sale, or the product page or something like this. These ideas that affect the marketing, which a lot will, like the website, product page, about us page, checkout, all this will affect the marketing heavily, because you can get a lot of add to carts with good marketing, but if the product page and the what's it called, like the checkout doesn't work, it isn't functioning, or it doesn't like appeal to your target audience, then the marketing, it's really hard to get that up and running. And that shouldn't only be on the e-commerce owner, because then the partnership will never work. And this is where honest feedback comes in. If you talk to each other about this and you both generate ideas for this, and you're proactive in it, then you can get it fixed quickly, and you can actually get it fixed. Another thing and this is pretty much what I just talked about, like quick issue resolution. And this has its roots in honest feedback as well. We need to be able to actually look at the issues, realize it's an issue, and deal with the issues. And this is not like someone realizing it's an issue, trying to fixing it, and it turns to shit, or fixing it and then like for example the marketing agency realizing they've made a mistake, fixing it without letting the e-com owner know, and then the e-com owner just gets wind of it a week later and is like, why did I lose profits on this? You need to be upfront with each other and kind of fix it together, because you just get better results in that way. And then just fast feedback and flexibility. Reporting, like weekly video reports, is something that I think is a great idea. Going over the ad accounts, showing what's been done last week, why you've done it, what you're going to do in the next week, and why you're going to do this. it's good to have like constant communication, and I think that's really important as well, that you can kind of let each other know, we need this now, we need this now, we think that we should do this now, what do you think about this, why are you doing this? Having this constant communication is important, but I think it's really good to have like a time where you can kind of expect that there is at least dialogue, and where like the ecom owner can expect that there is you as an ecom owner can expect that you get a report back very transparently. That's why I like the idea of sharing your screen, showing the ad accounts so no numbers are being hidden, and yeah, just doing it very transparently. Another thing, on the agency side here is proactive engagement and optimization. It's just so important because let's take the data-driven approach first, because it has its roots in that. I think one of the most essential parts is having a data-driven approach where you have control of all the variables. You are looking at the data and not feelings, so you know that you're actually, and you're testing out as much as possible. So you know that in the end, the things you have that are running are the absolute best things that could potentially, or that could possibly be running. And you know that you are on top of ads fatigue constantly, because you have gotten new content in time, you're testing it in time, so you always have it to be ahead of ad fatigue. That's kind of fast feedback, proactive optimization and engagement. And yeah, proactive engagement and optimization, really important. Especially when you're spending a lot of money on ads, there will be more data you receive, so you will have to proactively optimize more. But I think it's important that you have an agency where you can see through their reports, through their answers, and the quickness of their answers, and like the honesty, the strategic thinking, or like the feedback you get from them. That they're actually proactively optimizing, because you should be able to trust that if you go on the ad account, there is something being done, or if there's not, then that they have a reason for it. This is really, really, really important, because proactive engagement and optimization on the ad accounts is essential to actually scaling ad accounts. Whether you work with like Advantage Plus campaigns or PMax campaigns in Meta, respectively Meta and Google, where it's more algorithm based. It's really important here to work with the algorithm then, and that you're helping it, turning off old ads that aren't working and turning on, creating new ads that could work here. So kind of feeding it with the data that these algorithm-based campaigns need. Or on the other hand, like these manual frameworks, when you're testing all these different audiences, ads, landing pages, content, copies, whatever you're testing, it's really important that you know, like, when your benchmarks are. You're in there to see if you follow your benchmarks on when something should be turned on, off, or on, when we move to the next stage, when we start to stabilize the ads, when we start to scale the ads, and especially when you start to scale the ads, that it's being done profitably. Because to be as profitable as possible, you need to be proactive and be sure that you know what's running and how much it's spending. On the other hand, it requires something of the e-com owner as well. And a lot of the things is the same thing. It's open communication, which is like honest feedback, pretty much the same thing. It's really important that there's open communication. And if you as an e-commerce owner aren't satisfied with something, you should let them know. Let them explain this. Or if you have any questions, just ask them. You're not an issue. You're not a burden. Like, the agency is always trying to help you. So if you have questions or you have ideas, let them know. They're not like this, or at least they shouldn't just be like this, like third entity or second entity that's kind of there. It needs to be, as you can see here, it needs to be a partnership. I can only stress this enough. It needs to be a partnership where you're open and you help each other with brainstorming, idea generation, and all this. Like, the agency will implement it. For sure, optimize it, or at least they should. But it's not just your job to brainstorm and figure out new things. And it's not just the agencies necessarily. I think the best collaborations comes when you put all your brains together, because you have different skills as the e-com owner and the agency. And if you work together and you have open and good communication, you will just get so much further. And again, feedback receptiveness. The agency should have fast and flexible feedback, but you as an e-com owner need to be receptive towards the feedback. You need to take it in and actually think about it. Is this actually a good idea, what they're letting me know, even though it might hurt my ego, or it might hurt my perspective of the ad account or my business or whatever it might be. You might not agree, and in the end it is your call, of course, but it's really important that you as an e-com owner is receptive to the professional help that you brought in to your store to help you. Because if you're not receptive to this, and this is of course on the agency as well, they can't just let their ego be like, okay, I'm the professional here, I can't listen to what he's saying. It all like in the end, it's all about it being a partnership. That's where the bottom, it's like where it's all rooted in. It's all rooted in the fact that it's a partnership. That's what's so important. If there's one takeaway I want you to have from this video, it is that it should be a partnership. All these like other things all has its roots in it being a partnership. And that's again where trust and confidence comes from. And trust and confidence is something that you need to build, of course, but it's important that you like go into the partnership with the intent of trusting and having confidence in the team, and that you're not just like looking them over the shoulders with everything that they're doing. But to kind of help you with that, it's important that there's like clear objectives and expectations, because then you have something that that you're both aiming for as like a shared force, and it's easier for you to kind of trust them. You have you have set clear expectations, you have some objectives that you're both working towards, and that's what you're doing. And this is what the trust and confidence lies in, that you will get to that. And then you need to realize that it's, in most cases, it is gonna be important that you view it as a long-term perspective, because to go into a good partnership, you should always be in it for the long term, both of you. Otherwise, it's never gonna be a good partnership. You should always view it as if the ones that you start working with here is either, if you're an agency or the e-com owner, you need to go into thinking that you're gonna be working together in 2 years, or 3 years, or 4 years, or 5 years. That's so important, because that should be the underlining factor of your strategy, of everything you do, of the communication. If you go into a partnership thinking that you're going to be working together for the next 5 years, I'm sure you would handle it differently in terms of communication, receptiveness, trust, actually viewing it as a partnership, than you would if you go into it for a month. So it's going to be so much better of a partnership if you just think of it as a long-term thing, pretty much. And then I promise you one free piece of advice and a great rule of thumb. At least what I figured out from running an agency and kind of seeing how other agencies work. The best agencies are the middle-sized agencies. With this, I mean 2 to 4 employees normally. That should be the 1 to 2 owners, 1 to 3 owners, and then maybe a CMO. This is always the best agencies you can get. If you go to like the absolutely biggest agencies, you need to be a huge company for it, like a huge company, for them to actually put qualified people in your case and be, or at least this is 100% just my view and what I've learned, but this is what I would definitely recommend, is that the biggest agencies, you need to be a big agency or be a big company yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to get good help. You're going to end up in a situation where the feedback's slow and there's not much idea generation. You're going to get thrown around between a lot of people. And again, general rule of thumb, not everybody. And also, like, the people that are just one is normally newly started and they don't know too much about advertising. So I would never recommend this as well. 1, or as a rule of thumb, 5+ employees in an agency is never the best ones. 2 to 4 will always be my recommendation. So that's something that I would definitely look out for if I was you and I was looking for an agency. So that's my final piece of advice and what I'll leave you with in this video. If you found this valuable, then please do check out my other videos on this channel. I'm sure you will like them as well. And yeah, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos and more value, hopefully, like this.